What's going on, Internet? This is Brandon from Nerdlocker.com coming to you with a new segment called Comics 101. We here at Nerdlocker love our comic books and our comic book characters, and basically this segment is going to give you history of certain comic book characters. You know, if there's any you want us to do, let us know. But because Guardians of the Galaxy is coming out, and because not a lot of people know a lot about that team, we're going to start this first episode of this segment with none other than Peter Quill, Star-Lord, the leader of the Guardians of the Galaxy. Well, the current incarnation of Guardians of the Galaxy, but that's for a whole nother episode. Peter Quill's first appearance as Star-Lord was in Marvel Previews number 4. Now, his original origin was that he was born during an astronomical phenomenon where many of the planets aligned, and his mother was just pregnant. The father, who was like this mean drunk, woke up, saw that the baby bore no resemblance to him, and he's like, you know what, I'm gonna go kill baby Star-Lord. But on his way outside to kill the baby, he has a heart attack and dies. 11 years later, his mother is killed by an alien. Peter Quill grows up to be a NASA trainee astronaut, and while in space, he meets the Master of the Sun, who offers Quill the mantle of Star-Lord, who's basically like a space policeman. Now, recently, with Guardians of the Galaxy 0.1, Brian Michael Bendis revamped Peter Quill's origin story to where there's no drunk father, there's no astronomical phenomenon, but rather an actual person, Jason of Spartax, who crash lands in his mother's front lawn. He's injured, his plane is injured, he shacks up with the mom, gets down with the mom, and then bounces off of planet Earth with a spaceship, leaving his gun and a pregnant white woman on Earth. Years later, the Bardoon come to Earth to attack because they trace the gun there. Little Peter Quill kills the aliens and grabs his father's gun, finds it for the first time, which is actually coded to the DNA of that royal line. And house gets blown up, and he becomes an orphan, and then he grows up to become Star-Lord. He appears in various books, but nothing major until Annihilation. He actually acts as the advisor to Ronan the Accuser in taking down Annihilus in the Annihilation wave of the Annihilation War. This is where he reforms the Guardians of the Galaxy. This is the current incarnation of that team. Now, during the war with the Cancerverse, which is a fallout from all of this other stuff, Star-Lord actually sacrifices his life along with Nova Richard Rider to stop Thanos from collapsing the universe in on itself. There's a scene where Rocket is at his memorial for Richard Rider and all that, but in classic Marvel fashion, and you will catch on to this real quick, the more Marvel characters we do, he just reappears, leading the current incarnation of Guardians of the Galaxy, like I mentioned earlier, the Brian Michael Bendis relaunch that is currently going on, and which is an outstanding book, despite just bringing a couple characters back from the dead. That is the history of the fearless leader, Star-Lord, of the Guardians of the Galaxy. Just giving you a heads up on who he is and what he's about. If there are any you're interested, you want us to do, let us know in the comments below. And thank you for watching.